I do want to recognize a few people as we go along during the course of the evening, and if I choose to recognize you, please stand up and wave, and everyone will laugh, and it'll be great. And we're going to start with Alex Carl, who from the Space Generation Advisory Council was really the impetus. Laugh. Was really one of the key people, if not the key person, to get the ball rolling long ago to make this event happen. So I wanted to thank Alex for that. I also wanted to point out, if you just love this evening so much that you want to relive it, you can check out the video of the event next week, or tell your friends at planetary.org. It'll be up sometime roughly middle of next week, as well as the Planetary radio show. Right now, I am going to talk to you for a very few minutes with exciting announcements in the planetary defense world, and then that other guy is going to come out and talk to you. So hang in there. I want to talk to you. We'll go ahead and fire up presentation land, and Bill and I will actually finish up this presentation, but I will start it off. The Shoemaker Near Earth grants are a grant program named after pioneering geologist Gene Shoemaker. Not that that's a clue to the trivia question. The Planetary Society has run for 16 years, and it is designed primarily to fund really advanced amateur astronomers, but also funds professionals who need a little something. And in all cases, it's basically to take their observational programs and kick them up to the next level. And we've had an amazing group of submitted grants, and in just a few minutes, I'm going to tell you the winners of the 2013 Shoemaker Near Earth grants. Let's see, I have a clicker. Let's see if that works. So first of all, I keep throwing around Planetary Society, and Bill is the CEO of the Planetary Society. We're a non-profit, non-governmental organization that's all about space interest, space exploration. We're the largest space interest group in the world. We've got members in 120 countries, 30 to 40,000 members. Feel free to join us. And part of what we do in my little neck of the woods is a variety of projects in a bunch of different areas. But one of them is planetary defense, and this is this niche program where we fund people who aren't able to easily get funding otherwise to upgrade their observatories primarily. And it's made possible by our member donations. So hey members, thank you. There are members out there, thank you. The focus of the program is primarily these days on follow-up and characterization of asteroids, because most asteroids now, near-Earth asteroids, the potentially dangerous ones, are found by professional surveys, mostly funded by NASA. But it doesn't do you any good to know there's an asteroid there if you don't know what its orbit is. And the only way you get its orbit is to get lots of observations. And if you ever have to deflect an asteroid, it doesn't help if you go out there and you thought it was one asteroid and, oh wait, no, it's two. So it's important to learn to physically characterize these things, figure out their spin, what they're made of, and just generally their characteristics. And so that's a lot of what this group of people does focus on. However, especially those who developed clever systems, they're still getting discoveries. And we introduced Jaime earlier, so you don't have to stand up again, Jaime. But Jaime Noman from La Sagra Observatory in Spain got a Shoemaker Near Earth grant in the last round. They specifically chose to get a camera that would give them very fast readouts, so they could work a large portion of the sky in any given evening, something that the professional surveys don't tend to do as much. And they actually were the discoverers of 2012 DA14. And they discovered it, not surprisingly, in 2012. And that's why we knew it was coming by. That's why we were able to have a whole bunch of telescopes, optical and radio, observing this object, learning more and more about it. Also Apophis, which will fly by close by a 270-meter asteroid flying by in 2029, co-discovered by Shoemaker Near Earth grant winner. Okay, now, this program only works and only gives out good grants and uses our resources wisely because of the professional review panel that we've got, international panel. Some of them are here tonight, so if you're here, please stand up when I call your name. The coordinator, Timothy Spar, he is the director of the Minor Planet Center, the place where all observations of near-Earth asteroids go and then get processed. I see you found that we had speaker seats up, seats up front, Tim. So thank you, Tim, for coordinating this. He just stepped into this role with this round, did a tremendous job. Alan Harris from More Data USA has been with us since the beginning of the program, I think, helping us out. Carl Hergenrother from University of Arizona. I don't know if Carl is here. Someone stand up and pretend to be Carl. Oh, thank you. Also, not sure if Peter Pravec from the Czech Republic is here. Anyone speak Czech? Oh, there we go. And finally, someone who I believe is here, Duncan Steele, down here in the front from Australia, now New Zealand. And they volunteer their time and their expertise to make sure that this program continues to fill important voids and things. I do want to mention, and Bill's going to talk more about this and introduce a special guest who's here this evening, who had a wee bit of a connection to Gene Shoemaker, but I want to talk briefly about Gene Shoemaker, particularly because he has such a strong connection to Flagstaff. Gene was indeed the person who did the first detailed geologic mapping of Meteor Crater, who really confirmed that it was impact, who was instrumental in convincing the community, along with others, that all those little holes on the moon, the vast majority of them are impact, not volcanic, and that impact really is a driving process in the solar system, both for forming objects and also for causing chaos and disruption of objects. He established the USGS, U.S. Geological Survey Astrogeology branch here in Flagstaff in 1963, and with his wife, Carolyn, who may or may not be here, he carried out sky surveys for many years, discovering lots of asteroids and comets. Thank you, Gene. And the program started in '97, soon after he passed away. And now, drum roll. Oh, very nice. We are giving out 5 awards for a total of $34,307. And no, you are not eligible right now to get them, because we've already chosen our winners. And here they are in alphabetical order. Albino Carbognani from the Astronomical Observatory of the Autonomous Region of the Aosta Valley. Whew. Gets an award just for having the longest named observatory I've ever seen in my life. Located in the Italian Alps, and here's the telescope that a roughly $9,000 grant will re-illuminize their mirrors so they can go to even dimmer objects. They need to be re-illuminized periodically, and adding a focal reducer, which is a gizmo, that's a technical term, that will widen their field of view, which is very helpful when you're trying to find objects moving across the sky. Robert Holmes from Illinois Astronomical Research Institute, a roughly $6,000 grant to purchase a camera to go on this beast, which is a 0.76 meter telescope, and that will give him a sensitive camera. Bob is particularly a specialist at this astrometric follow-up, finding positions of objects. He's the only 4-time winner, Shoemaker NEO winner, and he has the most productive NEO follow-up observatory on Earth, using primarily cameras provided from the Shoemaker NEO grant program. Gary Hugg from Kansas, about $2,000 for some upgraded computers, software, and all the things that make your observatory run faster when you've got a 0.56 meter telescope and a lot of good talent. Donald Prey from Sugarloaf Mountain Observatory in South Deerfield, Massachusetts, about $8,000 for the mirror structure and focuser for a brand new 0.5 meter telescope, and he will be contributing the rest of the telescope system, and he focuses primarily on asteroids that are binary systems, so they have 2 objects co-rotating together. And finally, Robert Stevens from the Southern California desert, where his observatory is, the Center for Solar System Studies, $8,000 for a purchase of a sensitive CCD camera, and he focuses particularly on photometry, so tracking the brightening and dimming of objects as they rotate, and that's what's key to figuring out things like rotation rates and whether you've got binaries or whether you don't. All right, want to learn more about these grants, about other things, go to planetary.org/neogrants. Also, only marginally related, but it gives me an excuse to mention that you can follow me on Twitter at randomspacefact, and also follow Planetary Society at Explore Planets.